everybody. It's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and I'm going to use a little bit of a different format, and I want to introduce you to something that we just provided to two of our clients called the Talent Retention Triangle. It seems a little corny, but let me just walk you through this. This is where coaching has huge ROI, and at one of our client sites, I would say an older leader had never really done coaching, had somewhat of a coaching background with his kids, and really got involved with coaching pretty heavily, has kind of fallen in love with it. He's actually near the end of his career. And he said, this has been a lot of fun. I'm connecting with my people. And he saved two people from leaving the organization. Both people said, you're a hard person to quit on. Let me show you why I think this occurs. So I'll get myself out of the way here. And I think about retention. I think about the work. I think about having a personal connection with our people. And then I think about our people and their career motivator. So the retention triangle is when you think about the foundation, think about, do we really know our people? And we say it all the time. Oh, no, I know my people well. Do we know their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes? Do they share with us how they want to get feedback? What's been a prior experience with a manager, leader they've had that they want to avoid at all costs, or favorite vacation spots? And what happens is we tend to focus on the middle part of the triangle, which is the job. Got to have performance. We got to hit our numbers. We got to manage, coach, lead, whatever it is. But we tend to focus on that middle part. The top part of the triangle is their motivator. Where do they want to go with their careers? And can we bring that into conversations readily? So when we have the foundation done, we create a personal connection. When we focus on the middle part, there's nothing wrong with that, but solely, if you only focus on the work, the relationship with our people becomes predicated upon the work. Therefore, the relationship might feel like work. And then the personal connection to change. See, when someone tells you they want to become a future leader, or they want to do more work in data or analytics, whatever it might be, what happens is it positions us to have different conversations with them. Now, at Progress Coaching, we teach something called QUALMS. This is our four-step coaching conversation model. And so I just brought that in here, and it's a four-step model. The learning project, if I'm coaching someone to be more influential with his or her teammates, I might say, well, Joe, next week come in with 2 examples as your learning project of where you really invested in your teammates. Now, if I understand Jill wants to become a future leader, hypothetically, as a motivator, that's her goal, I can bring that into the conversation. Jill, come in next week with 2 examples of where you really invested in your teammates and how do you think that'll serve you well in becoming a future leader? You tie the 2 things together. Then when we ask questions such as, what happened? What did you learn about yourself? What are you going to do to continue to do this? What are 2 things you will do to facilitate this on an ongoing basis? Activities. Well, let's practice that conversation you need to have with Tom where there might be a little bit of conflict. The 4-step model only takes 8 to 10 minutes. So here's some examples of how it works. So let's say we want to coach someone for improved teamwork. The learning project could be, I asked you last week to come in with 2 examples of where you really invested in your teammates positively. We want to ask and listen. We want to handle calmly. We want to ask questions. We want to have the activity. We might facilitate practice. And then we always end every conversation with the learning project, driving ownership and accountability on the rightful owner, the person we're coaching. Now, let's say we know the motivator, kind of like what I was demonstrating before. So we prepare, we ask and listen, but the learning project could be, last week I asked you to come in with 2 examples of where you really invested in your teammates and how that will help you reach your goal of becoming a first-time manager. So these steps really build upon themselves and they create a connection. That's the triangle of talent retention. And so when we're having conversations with our people, what we're really doing, if it's only the middle part of the triangle, only as it relates to the work and the job, we've lost an opportunity. Now, I'll share with you a really cool story. I was coaching someone whose son had just pitched in a Little League game, and we happened to be connected on Facebook, and I never thought I would do that with clients. And I said, oh, by the way, I saw your kid pitched and got in the newspaper. This client eyes lit up. Oh, it's It's been amazing. It's like he's on this great team. His teammates are awesome. They're all his childhood friends. I just sat back and listened. Now, you don't do it for the sake of business. You do it because you're genuinely, authentically interested. And so that bottom part of the triangle is where we create connection with people. The upper part is where we create the connection with our employees as it relates to where they want to go. And then they get connected to something most people avoid: personal change. What are your thoughts on the talent retention triangle? Let us know.